Welcome to the RIP 28 podcast. The RIP 28 podcast. This is a podcast where a few good friends can get together and talk about a few good things. Now, we're going to talk about some things that you might like. We're going to talk about some things that you might not like. But we're going to keep on talking about it if you like it or if you don't. I am Sly the Sports Guy, joined by a couple of my good buddies, my good homies. Start off in the top left over there. C. Nez, what's going on, brother?
C. Nez in the building. Hey, ready to chop it up with my fellas, man, and special guest, young lady. Let's go.
All right, we go over to the other side in the middle right there, Mr. JK, Dr. J, what's going on? Looking like you about to go to a photo shoot or something, man. What's the problem? Your wife dressed you today?
Not much. It's just a little blue blockers I got. You know, I've been working hard on the computer, trying to make sure I keep my eyes right. Ready to talk it up this afternoon with y'all fellas.
Oh Lord, he is a doctor. He does have his PhD in something, so he is a nerd. So he might be telling the truth. Over on the other side, the original G5 monster. What's going on, Dre?
Ain't nothing, man. Street Thug back in the building. You know what I'm saying? Live from the dirty.
All right, now we are joined by our special guest, our very, very special guest, one of my oldest friends, Miss Tia B, straight out of Charlotte. How you doing, baby?
Pretty good. Glad to be here with you guys tonight.
Well, we are glad to have Tia. You know, we here at the RIP 28 podcast, you know, we're a spot where the fellas can get together and talk about some things that are on our mind. But every now and then we like to have a lady's opinion. We don't believe that she just needs to be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. We don't. Yeah.
No,
we have evolved. But a very interesting thing happened. We want you people to keep sending your information in, because now I will break down why I say that. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, RIP 28 Podcast. Hit us on Facebook, Instagram. Everybody who's watching on YouTube right now, make sure you click like and subscribe. We need to get those subscribers up. SoundCloud and more platforms and all that stuff. And you can email us. We need to put our email address on there at the RIP 28 Podcast. Email us at the RIP 28 Podcast. The reason I'm telling you this is because lately we've been getting a lot of questions, a lot of people asking for advice, like we're advice column or something. You know, someone hit us in our DM, hit us in our RIP 28 DM on Twitter and brought up an interesting question. So we want to talk about it. They had a young brother hit us up, and the young brother was saying that he was recently married to the woman of his dreams. You know, he met her, everything's going fine, everything's going great. But what he seemed to notice after he got married was at his workplace, women started hitting on him. He started getting the advances from the chicks at the job. They was giving him the eye, flirting with him, doing all that good stuff. And he never got that before he was married. So my thing is, what is it about that ring that turns on these other women that make you want to hit on these married men, man? You know, black men don't cheat. So we're doing our best to make sure we keep that right and live up to it. So, you know, we got all three of our panelists, all three of the brothers are married. So, you know, we want to throw something at them. How y'all feel about this? Like, first, let's start off about the work situation. What is my man supposed to do at work?
Hey, I'll say this real quick. Hey, I got one word for it: drama. Major drama, bro. If you're trying to be on the cast of As the World Turns or something, go on ahead and do your thing. But if you're trying to have a successful job and a successful family and life, leave that stuff alone, man. Especially, you know, ain't no such thing as, you know, a hit and quit it when you see a girl at work every day. I mean, you know, it's gonna be some problems. You make her mad or something like that. She can make you lose your job for one, blow up your spot at the house, it ain't worth it, bro. Especially if you put that good work in, you know what I'm saying? they go keep going to come back, you know. It ain't no one time thing.
What about you over there, Coop?
Oh man. I mean, me personally, of course, I would always say, you know, like, that's a no-go, especially when you freshly married. Like, you start off on the wrong foot, you might as well cancel Christmas. But no, I mean, from personally experiencing, I mean, thing is, you kind of got to go into the situation. You got to promote your marriage. You know what I'm saying? As soon as somebody say, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, I'm fine. Da 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 da. And they try to, you know, go a little further. What's your name? Where you from? Oh, my name's such and such. You know, yeah, I'm married. Blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to throw that in there. I'm married. Put a little, something like a little jab at them. Like, you know, back up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I got somebody. You know, especially the type of work you're doing. I mean, I know in manufacturing, you can't really wear your rings, you know, like that. So you got to have it covered up or whatever the case. You might use gloves just due to what you work. So a lot of people ain't gonna notice that you're married, you know, just off rip, like looking at your hands. So you gotta vocalize, and then at the same time, you know, I mean, sometimes you gotta, you know, move in a different direction. Like if she's approaching you, and you see that she's coming on to you, I mean, hey, you know not to walk down that aisle, or you know not to speak to somebody who's working by her because she's gonna turn around and try to say something slick, whatever. I mean, it's just like you say, it's drama. And at the end of the day, I mean, you go to work. You know, a lot of people always say they don't mix pleasure with business. So I stick to the motto.
Now, wait a minute. Now, Dr. J over there. First off, does your wife has she given you permission to speak yet? Can you talk? Can you ask
Good one. Good one. Just listen to the story. I just wonder whether the guy. I'm assuming he had this job before he got married, right? So the chick at work probably knew he was getting married, and so you wonder how was his relationship with her beforehand? Did he kind of give off a overly friendly vibe, and all of a sudden when he get married, now he's trying to change that up, but she already has the other vibe that he's been giving off. But I'm with all other fellas here. That's just bad business. I saw a homeboy of mine go through that exact similar situation, and it made drama in everybody's household, not just his. So I would say that's a no-go. Just my opinion on that.
Now that's interesting. Something you brought up, you just brought up. You know, if he worked with her before he was married, you know, how come she didn't give off those vibes or anything like that, or she didn't approach him that way? Now, my question is, now once you get married, you know, you with your woman, and does your woman kind of clean you up a little bit? You know, she makes you a little bit better of a person, and that makes you a little bit more attractive. So you know, from the woman's side, now I know Tia, you a good girl. I know you're a preacher kid and all that. But your friends, how do they feel about stepping to a married man? Or is a married man more attractive?
I mean, I think a part of it is once you see somebody has something, that makes you want it. You know, when you go to the buffet and nobody's touching the macaroni, you're not gonna get none. But you go and it's half gone, it makes you wonder, okay, so this must be good. Like, it must be something about him. Somebody else wants some. Let me see what he's talking about.
That's pretty good.
That makes sense. That makes sense. You know, I go to buffet. I like to sample it all. That
Right. I mean, a part of it
might be my problem when it comes to women. I like to
and I was gonna say, then a part of it for the woman could be just trying. Like, let me see if I can get his attention. Like, yeah, he just got married, but you know, maybe I don't want anything more than a flirtation, but let me see whether I can get him to text me, to do this, to do that, you know, just kind of seeing what he's willing to do.
So you're saying women
end up snowballing.
Women is like natural troublemakers, basically. You know, us black men sitting up here doing right, being what we supposed to be, and y'all women come up here and throw us off. Because you know, no man is really guilty of cheating. It's some woman who forced them to cheat.
Right. But as Dr. J said, you know, what was the relationship prior? Like, were they just co-workers and they never spoke, and then all of a sudden, as soon as he has his ring on, or she hears that he got married, then all of a sudden, or were they friendly before? And now all of a sudden it's an issue because, like, yo, I'm married, so like you can't talk to me like that no more. Like what's really going on?
Yeah, that's the thing at work. You know, it's like you got to put out them vibes yourself. I mean, if you shut it down from the get-go, I mean, it's only a few crazy people out there that's gonna just keep on trying, because you know there is such thing as workplace harassment and all that stuff. But I mean, if you out there giving her the idea that maybe she can't get in or something like that, they gonna test you out. But if you like, hey, you know, I don't play around like that. You know, I come here to work. You know, my situation may be a little better. Like Dre is in the manufacturing field on the floor with them. I'm kind of their manager type thing. So people ain't gonna come at me the same way as they may come at somebody who, you know, is on the floor with them. But so I haven't been through no type of situation like that, but I've seen it happen, and I've seen people go one way and I've seen people go the other way. And it's just a bad situation. It's been a bad situation from when I've seen when people actually step out and do it. Like people lose their jobs and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead.
go ahead. With Juwan?
No, I thought you was about to say something.
I
Now,
was.
Go ahead.
I heard him stepping. Okay. I was gonna say this from personal experience. Like, I've heard a female tell me, she was like, "It's sexy that you talk about your wife." You know what I'm saying? Or you talk about your marriage. You know, I kind of look like, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's turning you on, and I'm talking about something that I got going on, like with my own personal situation. Like, you know, I just thought that was kind of crazy. But at the same time, I do feel like these days, like the times have changed. You know, these women, they trying to move like men now. So it's almost like, let me, like she said, like Tia said, let me see if I can get them. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, I mean, put a little notch under my belt that I got another married man. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. So they trying. I mean, that's just the honest truth behind it.
And I mean, and sometimes it is innocent. Like you've seen the memes and the gifs online where, you know, it's like, oh, my work husband, my work wife. So sometimes, you know, think about it. You spend more time at work with your coworkers than you really do at home with your family. So sometimes those relationships do, you know, evolve. And of course, you want to make sure they stay where they should and not go, you know, out in left field. But it's going to be a little bit of both.
It do happen.
Well, I'm an engineer, so I mostly work with other guys, so it's I don't have to deal with that.
Right. I haven't met too many female engineers.
I guess with
I
me,
ain't gonna say that,
corporate
man.
America, like I've seen it all. Like it's been people where I literally see them going to lunch every day, and I think really it's platonic. And then years down the line, I find out like, whoa, like they've been having an affair for years, and both of them know each other's spouses. They all do things together. We've all done things as groups, had no clue that they really had stuff going on. But then you have the opposite where, you know, it really is platonic. And then people will ask like, yo, y'all, it's like, nope, he's my work husband, but you know, figuratively, but like, that's just my dude. Like I talk to him about this, he talks to me about that relationship stuff. And it's just that close friendship.
I will say this one thing. Usually in a situation like that, it's all on the women. I mean, most guys, if given the opportunity, they gonna hit it if they can. But it's the women who gotta let them do that. Cause I mean, if I ain't talking about me, but I'm saying most guys I know, and I ain't gonna say nobody on this podcast, but some of my friends, if somebody say, I don't care what they look like, they were like, hey, I'm gonna give you some. They ain't gonna turn it down. But the flip side, you know, women ain't just going out there knocking off everything that she can. So it's usually on the women's side if she's gonna let that happen or make that happen, in my experience.
Well, yeah, I can agree with the let, maybe not the make it happen. And I guess just thinking about someone that I know, we all know he's married. We've all been around his wife. And let's just say out of the 10 women, he's probably slept with 5 of them. So, I mean, because he's that nice guy, he's everybody's friend.
Stop telling my
has a good
secret.
time, this
Stop
and
putting
that.
my business out there. Stop putting
Say
my
what?
business out there. Stop putting my business out there.
Sorry, it's not you.
We know that.
But I guess I'm just saying to where everybody knows his situation. He's not necessarily, well, I'm going to assume he's not necessarily pressing for it, but because you hang out all the time, you have these conversations, the other women might not be getting whatever at home. They having fun, go do whatever during lunch. But it's not like they don't know he messed with other people at work. It's not like they don't know he married and he not leaving. So,
Yeah, so I think it's just choosing what you want to do. But if he putting himself in that position and having those types of conversations, this eventually just going to go there. And so,
Yeah, you know what he doing.
I mean,
yeah,
he,
so
he definitely know what he's doing. Right.
so if you don't want that to happen, then you don't even bring up talking about all that personal stuff. You just talk about work stuff, and it ain't work, then we ain't talking about it. So
I mean,
that's why I feel.
obviously he's playing it to a T. I mean, I got to salute him. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the homie. He got knocked off 5 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's definitely playing the game like, you know, he got to play. You know, he making it work. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like any woman, just in general, a woman knows she gonna lay down with you from rip. That's just what I just truly believe. I feel like once y'all get to talking or whatever the case may be, whether it's friendly or, you know, crossing the line or whatever the case may be, it's on the guy after that point to mess the opportunity up. So it's just how you take it
I
from
don't
there.
know. I can't say that I know that off the rip, I know I'm gonna sleep with somebody. Like we could be friends and then it evolves and maybe I initially like you as a homie and I don't even think you're cute, but your personality, these different things, and then maybe 6 months down the line, I'm like, okay, I might be open to that idea. I'm not talking about the married man thing. I'm talking
Right. You just some of the emotional
Look
conditions
at
that
it is
come
right as
rare.
far as going in knowing you gonna sleep with somebody.
Look at it is rare. It is rare. I don't know many people who can talk their way into some pussy, but I done seen many a times where you done talked your way out of some. I know how to talk my way out of.
I'm gonna say, sound like speaking from experience.
Hey, I can't say I ain't just gonna lie to you. I know how to talk my way out of conversation. You know, but basically, and the reason I say it like that is because it's, as a man, it is hard to turn down advances of a woman. And women say, all you got to do is say no. I say no all the time. But you got to look at this point of view.
That boy lying.
A woman, by the time she's 12 years old, 11 years old, she got all her classmates constantly coming on to her, constantly coming on. And so she's experienced. She's used to telling dudes no. She's used to saying no. All right. As a dude, you don't have women constantly throwing themselves at you, you know, all the time, unless you might look, you know. You know, that's it. So I think guys deserve bonus points if they say no. You deserve a higher rating. You deserve the bigger piece of chicken if you tell a woman no. Your wife is more appreciative of you.
But he's saying, you know, the guys just trying to get what they can get for the most part. And, you know, girls pick and choose. Like, they only get with who they want to get with. You know what I mean? So some guys just settle for what they can get. You know, like, that's how I feel about it a lot of times.
It is interesting. So basically, what we figured out for this young dude, he need to stay away from that workplace entanglement. But my question is, though, I'm pretty sure he has a question, is how? What does he need to do to avoid these situations?
Yeah, I think he needs to change his relationships at work. You know, he just got married, so you got to realize that the things he used to do or the things he used to talk about with other females at work, he can't do that anymore. And so he needs to change that, the way he interacts. And that'll probably stop as many from trying to get with him at work. That's what I would say. And that's a process. You know, he just getting married. He got to, you know, I've been married 10, 11 years. And so, you know, going back from year 1 to year 2, you realize that kind of stuff now. So you kind of know how to respond and what you shouldn't be doing and what you can do or what you can say. So
Hey, something about food make a difference. Like if you out there going to lunch with somebody all the time, I don't know what it is about eating with somebody that, builds a bond or relationship. Same thing with going out having drinks with somebody, you kind of drop your guards down some, and then you start talking about stuff that you probably shouldn't talk about. So I mean, I think that got something to do with it. Don't go out eating and socializing on the side like that. You stay at work, do your thing, and get the job done, and you ain't got no problems.
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess I
most
would
definitely.
tell the fella if she invites you to lunch, be like, okay, sure. Let me see what time my wife's available. We can join you and kind of play it that way. Or anytime, she's trying to say, let's do whatever, oh yeah, we can come with you. And then if you're not trying to be friends with me and my wife, then you're not really trying to be friends with me.
Right, I definitely
that's a good
agree with
point.
you. I definitely feel like that. I mean, I know like for myself, especially with me moving to a new city, so I'm kind of like fresh meat on the block. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody seen me before, who that is, and all that, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So of course, when people get to talking about stuff, oh, we want to celebrate for my birthday. Oh, you coming out? Da 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 da. Nah, man, I gotta go home to the wife and kids. You know what I'm saying? I got my little girl I gotta take care of when I get home. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like you shoot the whole situation down. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually, they kind of learn to back off. It's like, okay, well, every time I say something, like she said, he always talking about his wife, or he always say he got to go home, or, this, that, and the third. So, they kind of realize, like, where your priorities lay. And once you kind of do that, I mean, it is what it is. Of course, you still going to have those who's going to try, ask you something stupid, like how you think I look, or whatever the case may be. And you just be like, all right, yeah, what up? You know what I'm saying? I just completely ignore them. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you have to kind of be nasty about it a little bit too, because it's kind of like you got, like you say, just let them know you really not playing. Like I'm not playing none of these games. I'm staying on track, and you can't sway me over here, over there.
Now here's my thing, man. Here's my thing. All y'all giving you these advice of step away, whatever. But what if you explain to her the game? What if you let her know what it is? You let her know off rip, hey, look, I'm married. I'm not leaving my woman. But if you understand that, we can make something happen.
Let me ask
What
you,
you mean?
Sly, how
Now
many times
you
have you,
coming at that's a new angle.
If you tell her the game, you tell her what it is.
how many times have you talked to a chick and you told her what it is, and all of a sudden, 3-4 months
They
later,
stick to the script, right?
she forget about that.
You can't be good. Chad said in the beginning, if you good, they get feelings. Don't be good.
I'm telling you. Hey,
Be real selfish in your stroke.
Get your 2 minute in.
Oh, yeah,
You ain't gotta worry about it no more.
Move on.
Oh, yeah, she definitely gonna be done with you after that for sure. Now she gonna talk about you real bad at work.
But don't nobody got that in them. I mean, I don't know. I ain't gonna say nobody, but I mean, if you gonna do something, you gonna put the work in. You gonna put it down, and then when that happens, the drama comes behind that, man, and that ain't working, man. Hey, they say it's cheaper to keep them. You don't want to be paying child support and alimony and all that good stuff just because you couldn't control yourself with somebody at work that ain't never gonna be your main thing anyway. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it's almost like the same conversation I tell these young dudes who ain't got no kids. I mean, don't let no 5, 10, 15, 20-minute situation change your life forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, on some real, because you got guys out here who dive in head first, now they got an outside baby. You know what I'm saying? Or they dive in head first, now the girl that went out on social media. I got your husband, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Game over for you. You know what I'm saying? You done lost everything. Like I say, a 5, 10, 15-minute situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it really worth at the end of the day? If you can't think beyond the point, I mean, it's a lose-lose. And everybody knows, like, I hate to say it, but I'm going to go and be blunt about it. Most women's vagina is connected to their heart. So you want to get in the mix, then go ahead and do it. But like you say, you can't guarantee they're going to stick to the script.
All right, so I got two things.
And I would be remiss. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna say from, I guess, not a guy's perspective, but I guess if this young guy, if he feels the need that if he wants to do it, then he needs to be in that situation with somebody who has just as much to lose as him.
So he need to get a married woman too, huh?
Basically. So she ain't trying to mess up your spot, and you not trying to mess up hers. Y'all both got other things, families, whatever going on, but not just the single girl who out here with her friends who, if she can blow up your spot, and it's whatever. And then my other comment is a lot of the women who are willing to do that and be that side person, they're willing to do it for, I guess, basically for a cost or for a price. Like, oh, you paying some bill of mine, or you buying me this purse. So they not doing it just to do it, but it's like, okay, they don't mind dealing with this married person because they're getting something out of it other than just him.
Yeah, they might go into it like, all right, I'm just in it to hit it and quit it. And then one of their homegirls like, girl, you better get it. You make good money. You better make him your sugar daddy or something, or you gonna blow a spot type thing.
Right. They gonna like, okay, you need to make it, if I'm gonna, do this, we need to make it worth both our whiles. You doing what you want to do on the side, and I'm getting my new purse, or you whining and dining me, you taking me on trips, you doing whatever.
Got that man working overtime and everything.
It ain't tricky if you got it.
Hey, I don't see how dudes got time for that. I really don't.
No.
Man, why?
Especially when you got
Believe it or not,
kids.
you make time for what you want to make time for.
I agree until I had a friend who literally lived a double life. He literally had a second apartment to where he had the girls' food. They literally thought he was single. He was married with kids, but he had an apartment. He could take them there. So it wasn't like, he couldn't take
Pictures
them
on
to
the
his
walls,
place.
right?
He ran game. And I'm just like, why? Like, why are you even married? He was just like, the game was a part of the
Yeah,
enjoyment.
kept him going. Yeah,
I'm trying to think of how he hid the second apartment, like how he hid paying for that.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he didn't, I guess
how rich is
she I guess she didn't have access to all of his accounts. I mean, he was an attorney, he made whatever money. So he had
on separate account. Yeah, okay, got you.
Yeah, we
You
don't
ain't
do
been
that
taking
in my
notes,
house.
Storm? I hope you ain't taking notes, is you?
What you said?
I said you ain't taking notes, is you?
Nah, man.
Yeah, I had one of my teammates had that
Hey,
same type of
and
situation.
I be,
What you say, Chan?
yeah, I be remiss to say too. We gotta put this in part of the conversation too. Sometimes, it started out that the dude was like, all right, I'm gonna just get with her one time, and then next thing you know, he done caught feelings too. And then now it's a real problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, that's rule number one is ain't no feelings involved. Ain't no feelings involved in this thing. You got to keep all feelings out of it. All feelings out of everything what's going on. But I mean, if you think about it though, having the other apartment or the other family, that's not really new. You know what I'm saying? Because many of our grandparents, granddad had a family, a whole nother family on the other side of the county. You know what I'm saying? And life went on fine. But I guess with the internet, that would be a lot harder now, with the internet. But you think about it, man, like D.L. Hughley say, man, it's supposed to be natural. You're not supposed to meet the second family to the funeral like the way God intended, So, but hey, man, sometimes you might have to do that. You might have to get that other apartment.
Ain't worth it, bro. Ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it. Well, they say it is cheaper to keep it, boy. Going through that divorce, boy, that costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of ducats. Costs a lot of ducats.
It ain't even all about the money either, man. It's you built something, you know what I'm saying, and then you just gonna throw it away for something else. You know what I mean?
you can look at it that way, or if you the woman, you can take the Alicia Keys approach. You know, find you a man who's already built up and go ahead and move on in. Don't let another woman stop you from getting your dream, man.
Hey, she did. I forgot about that. Yeah,
I lost a lot of respect for Alicia
she went on
Keys when she
slipped
did
on
that.
in there. Didn't she?
Don't let a happy relationship stop you from getting your dream, man.
Well, that's the same thing Dr. Dre did. He got his wife. She was at her husband's basketball game when he hollered at her. So don't put it all on the women. Men do it all the time.
First of all, Dr. Dre is completely innocent of this. You know, she spoke to him first, probably. Dr. Dre is a victim.
Right.
He is a victim. He is a victim of this whole thing. We won't tolerate any Dr. Dre slander as this man is going through a tumultuous time in his life. Well, you know, but it's interesting. Being serious, it's interesting about this young man's situation and how he wants to handle it. Now I want to throw this at you. Chance and Tia, both of y'all being in supervisory positions, you know, what happens if she pushes it too far, if she continues to push it, and what option should the dude take? I mean, should he go to management? I mean, how does that work?
I mean, I think so, because if anything, if she gets pissed off enough, she could try to go and turn it around, you know, to say he was harassing her or he was doing something to her that could cause him his livelihood. So he needs to make sure, you know, they're not in situations alone. If he has anything documented, and I would take that to HR. You know, I would cover myself if I were him to make sure it doesn't go that route.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel the same way. You know, it's just like any other incident at work. You know, if it's a disciplinary incident or a safety incident, you nip that in the bud firsthand. You know, you go to HR, you document that stuff, and then, like you say, you get multiple people in the room to have that conversation to make sure that everybody understands what the deal is, and this ain't what it is. This ain't what's going to happen. And if you don't do what you're supposed to do, there'll be further disciplinary actions, you know, in the future. So, I mean, ain't nobody trying to risk their job to pursue something that ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? So don't it's all about, you know, probably the first interactions. Because if you give them that thought that they can do something or they got a chance, then they gonna keep trying. But if you shut it down at the beginning, you all good.
Now my thing is, when do you tell your old lady? You know what I'm saying? When do you put your wife? When does she know what's going on now? Because I know, you know, every relationship is different. A lot of people have different ways of way they do stuff. You know, like I know Juwan has to write a daily report to his wife. You know, what happened at work, who spoke to him, you know, male or female, you know.
I don't have to write that report anymore. I work from home most of the time now.
Okay.
Because of COVID, so.
But when do you involve your wife?
I mean, I think it depends on the relationship with your spouse. Like if y'all have regular conversations just about your work day, then you just bring it up like, yo, this girl, I can't believe, you know, she saw me with a ring on and all of a sudden she liked me. So I would kind of bring it up just in a not joking manner, but just a regular conversation, like letting her know what's going on. And then if it, you know, ends up as something serious that goes to HR or legal has to be involved, and she already know about it.
Hey, I'll say this. I agree with you. You know, you go ahead and put that out there so it ain't no problems. But my wife, she be up there ready to go beat somebody. Ain't trying to have that happen either. And then I got problems at work too. So, you know, I try to handle it myself first. But if it gets to the point where it's like an issue, and you know, everybody at my job has to have my phone number, so they can call me at any time, you know, stuff like that. If it get to being like that, you know, you go ahead and let it be known that this was going on.
Yeah, I'm definitely kind of how Tia said. I'm gonna just go ahead and bring it up in a regular conversation. But me, I play them Jedi mind games. Like I'm the type, I go to that chick homegirl, I'm like, hey man, tell your homegirl to fall back. Tell your homegirl to fall back. It ain't nothing pop. Like, I don't want that chick, no shape, form, or fancy. Like she cool, but it ain't gonna go no further than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit her from all angles. You know what I'm saying? And then I mean, I had one. I literally had to tell her before. I was like, look, man, you keep this up. Like, check this out. I'm just gonna go on up front. You know, like just go and threaten the HR move. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and go up front and just put you out there. So if you can fall back or we can be in HR, it's up to you. You know what I'm saying? Of course, she fell back once I said it like that. And she told everybody, oh, I'm a punk and all this and that. But I'm like for one, you don't look better than my wife. So that's, and then you ain't got nothing to offer me. Like you have nothing to present that would entice me. Like it takes more than just saying that you're gonna give it to me on a platter. It takes more than that. Like I ain't taking this L for you. You got 2-3 kids. I already got 2-3 baby daddies. What I'm gonna do with you? What I'm gonna do with you? And you a tip. What I'm gonna do with you? You ain't even got no benefits. What I'm gonna do with you? Like that's just me. I look at the whole picture. So it's just like I ain't even playing with you. Bye, move, keep it moving. I'm good.
Hey, before we get into something else, it ain't even about that. Like, am I trying to find somebody better? You know, because it ain't about that. I know what you're saying, Dre, but it just popped in my head. Like, you already done got married. You gonna be with that person. You done made a vow to stay with them. So somebody else come out you think might be better, or they think they better. I mean, it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Stop. Say like Eric Badu, see you next lifetime or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it ain't nothing going on.
That's really just me using that as a device to chop them down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sure.
Like I'm hitting you with a bunch of negatives. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I'm just doing my part. You know, I've been in the game almost 17 years now, so it's a whole bunch invested, and it's a whole bunch that I ain't trying to give up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, too, man. We done been through all kind of stuff. Good. I mean, not really bad stuff, but I mean, it's good and bad. You know, got kid in college, kid in high school, kid in elementary school. You know, we done been through the wars and live with each other. So I mean, I ain't trying to start that over with nobody else.
Right.
All them kids, that just means you don't know how to pull out.
I did get clipped though, so I ain't got to.
Oh yeah, CJ was jugging on them boys too the other day, man. That boy doing his thing.
Little Chance Jr. Chance got a little athlete over there, man. Now his son played a little bit of football, and Chance post all the video clips, his highlights of him. Now, I respect him. He's doing a lot, but I don't see too many brothers out there in Arkansas. He's the only brother on the field. Now. He the only brother on the field. You got to show me the moves when it's more than 3 brothers on the field, man.
Right. He ain't the only one. He ain't the only one, but the majority is not African American.
Yeah, because you know the Caucasians believe we got an extra muscle than them anyway.
That's what they believe.
But I will say this: the boy got skills.
Yeah, his mom was an athlete.
I know talent.
His mom was an athlete.
Yeah, man. She get all the credit. I give it to.
Boy, your bandwidth.
You ain't gonna get an argument from me, because
folks. I want to let everybody know that is Chance's bandwidth. That's I know he sounds kind of slurred over.
Yeah, it did sound like you were slurred.
He ain't slipping on nothing like that. That is his bandwidth is low. So
can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
But you were holding that cup and talking slurred while like, oh Lord.
It's slow motion over
there. Okay. But we done heard from everybody though, except Juwan. When did you tell your lady?
I don't know, it just depends on how serious the situation is. If it's pretty serious, then yeah. But if it's not, if it's something I can handle myself, I'm not trying to handle myself and not even involve her. Just because I'm like Chance, I don't want her coming up to the job. but uh, but yeah, if I can handle myself, I handle myself. But if not, I'll bring her in, let her know what's going on.
Yeah, that is interesting though. You can go ahead and just to make sure, because that's the thing, because I hear, I'm a single guy. I hear that communication is the key. That's what they say. Communication is the key. So I'm just wondering, when do you communicate the potential bad stuff? There's a lot of times though, you get in trouble. They're like, you ain't do nothing wrong. You did everything right. You went and told your old lady, hey, this lady hitting on me. Now your wife might say, well, why she hitting on me? So I just wonder, when is the appropriate time this young man needs to make that move? So basically it comes down to how well you know your old lady before you,
There you go.
before you go and tell. Before you go and tell, man. I hope this young brother is taking heed to some of the advice that the married folk is giving them. Try not to listen to me. Try not to listen to me on this subject.
You're gonna stray them wrong every time.
I'm telling you wrong. You won't listen to these happily married guys. And one thing is, we have, with the RIP 28 podcast, you notice every week we bring in, it's a crew of 8 of us. It's a crew of 8 of us on the RIP 28 podcast. And we bring in different fellas for different topics so we can get different opinions. And that's why these three guys is on it, because they're three married guys who've been in marriage for a while. Like say Chance, 17 years, Juwan, 10 or 11, and Dre
11 years.
Dre a newlywed. Dre a newlywed, like less than a year. So we bring on these guys, and then we bring on, I had to bring in my friend Tia, just to get a lady's perspective. We talk about all of this, but one thing I don't think we answered, I'm not sure if we answered, but are married men, we're gonna ask Tia, are married men more attractive?
So to me, no, they aren't. To some people, I think, yeah, just because they don't have the responsibility. Like, when I leave you, we out. We see each other. When we see each other, we don't have to check in. I don't have to see you on a daily basis. You got your place, I got mine. Some people like that. Some people want that freedom, even though you should be able to get that with someone who's not somebody else's. But like I said, I think sometimes once you see what somebody already has, it becomes more attractive. You see those Yeezys and you thought they were super ugly, but then you see somebody rocking them right, it makes you want to go out and buy your own. Or it makes you want to, like, well, hey, can I just get those from you? Or you see, Juwan doing the right thing, treating his wife a certain way, and you think, well, shoot, let me see, maybe he'll take me to dinner. Maybe he'll, versus me going and finding my own person to do those things. So some people just want to take the easy way out.
And ain't no Muslim marriage dude ain't got the package like some of these dudes out here trying to hit everything they can. So they a little safe as far as STDs and all that type of stuff too.
You would hope. You would hope they are. You would hope they are. Well, man, this has been interesting, man. Real good conversation. We're coming up on our time now, but I want to thank everybody for joining us, man. You got any parting shots, Chance?
Oh man, just say one, like they say, cheaper to keep for sure. Next thing, leave that drama alone. Do your job and go home, bro. You already made your family, so put your focus on that.
What about you, JK, Dr. J?
Yeah, I just reiterate, watch how the relationships you take on, and watch what you say. And some people flirt, don't even realize they're flirting. And so kind of, manage that a little bit differently now that you're married as opposed to when you were actually single. And so yeah, make sure you're saying the right things and not kind of bringing it on or egging somebody on to maybe thinking they have a chance or not. So
Hmm. And well, for our lady, it has been a pleasure having you on, giving your 2 cents, telling us the lady's point of view, Tia. You have any parting shots, anything you want to say before you get out of here?
I love what Juwan said. I think it's all about how you carry yourself. So if you carry yourself like a person who is in a relationship, then you should be respected as such. But if you aren't, then you might have somebody coming at you sideways. And my other little thing is, I think, guys, we shouldn't find out that you about to get married like the day you getting married or when you pop back up. A lot of y'all, we don't even know y'all in these 10-year relationships till somebody sees the social media announcement or you pop up with a ring. So I think that's part of the problem.
Oh.
True statement. True statement. I've seen that before.
Oh, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Well, we want to thank you all for joining us here on the RIP 28 podcast. Before we get out here, I want everybody to acknowledge the Washington football team. Acknowledge them in their big victory today over the hated Dallas Cowgirls. Big victory for the Washington football team. Hail to the Redskins.
I'm happy they won, Sly. Such that you didn't have that horrible South Carolina jersey on or T-shirt on.
We waiting on women's basketball. We're waiting on women's basketball for the Gamecocks.
I'm sending everybody on the show Memphis Tigers T-shirt.
Nope, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
You gonna rock it. You gonna rock it.
Nobody cares. Well, we want to thank you all for joining us here on the RIP 28 podcast. Like I said before, the RIP 28 podcast is a spot where a couple of fellas can get together and we can talk about a few things. Now, some of those things we talk about, you're going to like. Some of the things we talk about, you're not going to like. But here on the RIP 28 podcast, we're going to keep on talking about them because that's what we do here on the RIP 28 podcast. Talk to you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you into me, hope you understand I am not your enemy, nor will I pretend to be.